Okay, guys, welcome back. One of my favorite subjects, reading. This is Alice speaking. Part one. Again, we have 5 questions as usual. I'm going to read the questions and give respective answers to those questions. So, the first question is: do you enjoy reading? I love reading, even though I'm not reading as much as I used to read when I was younger in the older days, where we didn't have a lot of distractions. Nowadays, we have so many excuses for not reading. So I usually try to have at least 20 minutes of reading every evening before I go to bed, and sometimes one session in the morning, one session in the evening. I think it's all about habits. Once you start and get used to it, it becomes much more easier. But the starting part is the most difficult one. So I'm just trying to get there, get in track, and try to read more. Second question: what kinds of book do you like to read? In the past, I was much into economics and politics, but recently I've been writing novels, and I'm so much into novels. I'm reading a lot of novels, different kinds of novels, trying to learn a little bit from others, see how it's done, and trying to improve. Probably putting something on top of that to see if I could have a better work. But in older days, it was all about politics, non-fiction books most of the time, sometimes about entrepreneurship and all those good stuff. Obviously, I love languages. So when I was learning languages or new languages, I was also trying to dive into how to books, especially how to learn a language, how to do this and that. Question number three: do you prefer printed books or digital ones? Well, I prefer printed books. The digital ones are cool, easy to access, portable, and all that good stuff. But printed books are amazing because when you touch the book, when you feel the book in your hands, the smell, of the print itself, just the feeling that you're having when you're turning pages, the way you're getting lost and your ability to hold it and connect with that world, it feels like almost being there. With the digital ones, I think it's kind of like we spend a lot of time on the screen. So when it comes to reading, probably you need to get off the screens and try to do something differently. It gives me a feeling like I am better off when I'm reading the printed books, especially the ones with the hardcover. So it feels safe. It feels more realistic, much closer to humans, especially when you are in nature, you know, um, or listening to a beautiful music in the background. If the beautiful music is playing, say classical music or something beautiful, and you're reading and no distractions, no phones, that's like feels like a meditation. Question number four: did you enjoy reading when you were young? I wasn't lucky enough to grow up in a reading tradition. That's why I feel like sometimes I struggle with reading, like I'm building the habits, and sometimes I just get off there because I believe a lot of good things starts when we're younger. I'm not saying that you cannot learn new habits or develop new habits when you are much older. All I'm saying is much more easier when you start at a younger age. It becomes part of you. It's being wired in your system. So it's much more easier to continue this tradition if you got this from your family. But it doesn't matter. I know dozens of people who haven't read a lot when they're younger and they started reading as adults, and they even reading more than the people who have always been reading in their lives. So yeah, it depends on how you build the habit and how you stay with that habit for a very long time. Question number five: is reading still popular in your country? Well, reading was never popular in my country. Unfortunately, people spend most of their time just on social media trying to scroll and watch dances, probably cat videos on those kind of stuff. Only few people really have time to read nowadays, which makes it a big advantage, even big advantage compared to the past. Because if you read in the present days, you tend to be smarter, more knowledgeable, and probably have a different imagination. mixing with the resources we have nowadays, with the technology and all recent developments that we have, it's much more easier to think bigger and see bigger picture compared to a person who directly relies on technology. Yeah, so that's it. We have done the 5 questions. I just want to insist on the importance of practicing. It's just like you all know football players, probably. Some of you play football or basketball, any kinds of sports. If you want to be good at this sport, you have to be consistent. Think of the day when you started and where you are nowadays, just because you kept on showing up, then you become better. And the people who showed up better, who showed up more, have better chances of succeeding. So keep on practicing, keep on showing up, subscribe to the channel, right? Open the notifications. Every time a new video comes, you have to be able to watch it right away, practice, and move on with your preparation. I'm wishing you best of luck. And if you have any questions, please don't forget to leave them in the comment section. Take care of yourself and best of luck.